What's up guys, Shuichi here, and for today's video I wanted to take a break from ranking Black Ops 2 perk locations and do something different. Instead, I want to revisit Black Ops 1 Zombies and suggest one or two things that would have made each map better. As usual with these type of videos, I need to set some ground rules, such as introducing concepts from later maps to previous maps cannot be part of the list. AKA adding an Easter egg to Kino when Easter eggs didn't technically exist until Ascension. Yes, we're not counting Doris. And adding buildables to Ascension when buildables did not exist until Transit. Yes, I know there is a trap buildable in 5, but that's a peculiar case, which I would not really count. You know what I'm talking about when I say buildables, such as shields, turbines, wonder weapons, you get the point, not traps. Another rule we're going to set in place is I cannot detract from the original map, meaning I can't just say take away the monkeys from Ascension. I can suggest map alterations, such as changing an area. I can suggest making something a little bit easier, but I cannot detract from the map itself. I think this one's going to dig my own hole later in the video when I start explaining my little details. I think this one's going to be left up to viewer interpretation. Probably shouldn't be a rule now I'm thinking about it, but you know, we're going to commit to it. When you're watching, if you're watching, and you think I break this rule, go ahead and comment. Use it as a discussion point. But for now, we should probably get on track and start with Kino. I think one simple thing this map could have benefited from was a new perk. I remember people were talking about the rumored bandit, whatever the name it goes by, and I think that would have been a really great perk to have on Kino. Especially with how bad the ammo situation is in Black Ops 1. Like, the FAMAS, that shit is unusable, but adding Bandolier Bandit with the FAMAS, it would have been a whole bunch better. The perfect location, I would have put it in the back alley, probably either by the trash cans or upstairs where the rock is, because that whole section isn't really used as much, but I really would have implemented another perk. It doesn't even have to be Bandolier Bandit, just a new perk in general. Other than that, I think Kino itself was a decent map. There's not too much I would change. So I tried to look up the whole Bandolier Bandit little perk thing, rumor that was supposed to be in World at War Black Ops, and I could not find it. I really hope I didn't actually get this idea from somebody else's YouTube video and I'm actually ripping it off, because that would be fucking embarrassing. On to 5. Funny enough, when I was thinking about things to change about 5, I was like, man, they really need a different way to get between floors, because the elevator just is inconvenient at times when you're in a rush. And then I'm like, oh, I'm a dumbass, I forgot there's the teleporter. So that's something I'm gonna ignore. And I really like the concept of the teleporter versus the elevator, because it's like, do you want to leave your fate to RNG, or do you want to be patient about getting to the next floor? Now on to things I would actually change about 5. First off, I think the perks need to be spread out better. Like, we have 2 perks on the first floor, 3 perks on the second floor. Why do we not have any perks in the bottom floor? I know Classified changed that, but why do we not have any perks used in the bottom floor? Mule Cook could have went down there. There was no reason to not have it down there. And while we're on the topic of the bottom floor, I would also change the use of the bottom floor. Nobody uses that area. They need to make it so there was better training areas, maybe a bigger room down there, something to entice players to stay in the basement longer. Like, yeah, we had the trap parts down there. Like, yes, we have the mystery box locations down there. But other than that, no player actually uses the basement level. Give us a training area that could be used. I don't know, something enticing down there. Ascension. While I think this map is fine as is, I'm still going to give it changes that I think would have made the map better. The monkey rounds, I'm not going to say take the monkeys out because that detracts from the map itself. I think they needed to change how the monkeys go about each perk, because defending those perk machines, every single one that you have solo, sucks. Another thing is, I find the map is way too easy for co-op. Given that there's 4 different training areas that are all very, very viable, I would have at least taken 1 or 2 locations and crowded it a little bit more. Maybe made Stamina Up's location a bit harder and Pack Punch's location a little bit harder. Ascension's map is basically fine as is. I'm just reaching at this point. I think it would have been cool to see that extra section that was talked about, but the map is big as is. Defending whatever perks would have been over there would have been a pain in the ass. I think it was Double Tap. Wasn't Double Tap the one that they talked about was supposed to be over there? Call of the Dead. Unless I'm just remembering it wrong or it's different on console, I would have fixed how the Easter egg works. My biggest gripe with that map is if somebody hits one of the bells when you're not ready, it basically ends the Easter egg one for you guys. You have to restart and do the bells in the right order, because if you don't, it stops the progress and you're not able to do it again. Again, this may be like a PlayStation thing or something I'm missing, but it's always been tedious and annoying as hell to me. So I decided to go and look up this one after making this audio, and I saw a few different things saying for some people it would work, for some people it wouldn't work. I'm not quite sure the whole parameters around the whole bell, but I do have to admit I've been doing the Easter egg wrong this whole time, and I've been doing all those steps in solo despite not needing to, so it's kind of embarrassing. I knew there were certain steps that weren't needed in solo, but I think I was still doing them. More specifically, I think I was setting the dials every time, I think. Was I? I was doing something wrong. I can't remember. It's been a while. All I remember from Call of the Dead is my go-to video was always in CoD Zombies. But they don't exist anymore. Then again, even if they did exist, like waffles and pizza or whatever their names are, own like the whole Easter egg community now. Back on topic. If I had to change anything else, I'd probably change Deadshot's location because it is a hassle to get, and I'd probably change how Deadshot works because it's kind of useless. Or at least in Black Ops 1 it's useless. This one is coming from a console player considering Deadshot was made for us for some reason. Oh, Shangri-La, how I love you, but you have so many issues to cover. But I'm only supposed to be mentioning like 1 or 2 ways to improve you, you know? For starters, and this is one of my shorts, Pack-a-Punch. Dude, Pack-a-Punch needs to be fixed in co-op. It's one of those things where if nobody's on the same page, nobody's getting Pack-a-Punch. I need you on a button. I need you on a button. Everybody needs to be on a button. Let's just say, keeping it in the trend of trying to give Pack-a-Punch a gimmick, they could have made it to where you had to activate the buttons in a specific order each game. They could have did it like that, just to keep the little difficulty, keep it their little Pack-a-Punch gimmicks that they had going on. And you know, it would have been a lot better than having to have each player on a button. But in reality, all they needed to do was make it so one person had to activate each button around the map. That simple. And if they wanted to make it so it couldn't be spammed, all they had to do was make it locked once per round until like the water filled up. Another thing, and this may be more of a me thing, I feel like the map lacked proper training areas. Yeah, that's more of like a gimmick with the other maps, and it's not really like an actual thing. But I feel like Shangri-La could have used one area for people to train in. One good area for people to train in, instead of trying to make it work at the end of the bridge and yada yada yada. You know what, I'm gonna cap it at 2 because if I go on, I could probably find another 2 to 3 things about Shangri-La I don't like the Easter egg step with the napalm zombie, but we're gonna move on to Moon. Moon, I think you were a great map. I don't have as many complaints about you as I do Shangri-La, but oh my god, you have my biggest complaint in Black Ops 1 so far, and that's gonna be the RNG of your Easter egg. No, I am not talking about the mystery box. I am fine spending 100,000 points to get the Gershes, to get the QADs, to get their wave gun. No, I don't care about the mystery box. I care about the RNG of Excavator Pi to Tunnel 6. That is one of the worst things when it comes to Easter eggs overall. The fate of me completing Moon's Easter egg should not rely on RNG. The RNG of the mystery box is fine. It's not a problem. I am fine spending a lifetime of points trying to get the wave gun. I am not fine going round and round hoping Excavator Pi will dig Tunnel 6. When I'm on round 30 and Excavator Pi still hasn't dug yet, that's a big issue Easter egg wise. If I were to fix anything on this map, I would make it so activating Excavator 5 to Tunnel 6 was an Easter egg step. And I'm still kind of paranoid that there is a way to activate it. I am of the belief that there is a natural way to activate Excavator Pi. But I know everything's been mined out and everybody's done what they could, and we probably have what we have in front of us. That being said, this is one thing I would fix for Moon. I would make it so that there's a way to naturally activate Excavator Pi. The only other thing I would change regarding Moon, and it's not a big deal, I could care less about fixing it, I'm just trying to keep like the theme of 2 things that I've had for each of the other maps, excluding Kino. I would probably make it so that both excavators have a way to get around once they come down. If you're in solo and you get stuck in spawn, you're stuck. There is one way to get around him, and that's the Gersh device, but that's relying on the fact that everybody carries a Gersh device around. Some people, which those people are freaks, carry around the QEDs. Then again, in Black Ops 1, the QEDs did a lot more than they do in Black Ops 3. They were kinda cool. I still wouldn't carry QEDs around though. I think that covers 1 to 2 things on each map that I would fix about Black Ops 1 zombie maps. Obviously, they're fine as is. These are just little things to keep a conversation going. But then again, I would really fix the issue with Shangri-La's Pack-a-Punch. Specifically co-op, obviously. Because why do we need all 4 players again? Then again, I guess the same could be said about Moon, because you do need all players that are alive on the teleporter so you can go pack-punch. Fucking hell, using the pack-punch sucks in the last 2 maps. I think that's gonna wrap it up for this video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and comment, give me input, because I need to figure out what videos sell and what videos are duds. Do you guys prefer rankings? Do you guys prefer analysis? I think I've been over this before, but it's been years. Is this something you'd want to see again? Because I'm down to go back to World at War or go to Black Ops 2. Because I sure as hell know there's a lot of things that could be fixed about Black Ops 2. Next video I'm getting back to the ranking list, try to finish that. Next up's gonna be Double Tap. And then I'll try to make a video about Easter eggs maybe. Either way, you guys know the deal. Like, subscribe, comment, do what you usually do. And as always, don't die.